Greetings to everyone. Hope you all are doing great. I'm here today with another exciting topic to discuss with you all, titled Integrated Pest and Disease Management in Sustainable Agriculture. I'm here today with my brother. Sir, please, I'd like you to present yourself.
Okay, I'm called Albert User, that's my name, and I'm a student in University of Oboya, level 400, that's year 3 in agriculture, studying crop production, more precisely.
Okay, sir, thank you so much. So, please, I would like to know I would like to know your own definition when it comes to integrated pest and disease management in sustainable agriculture.
Okay, integrated pest management is there are different ways, there are different techniques that are put in place to control pests and disease in the field in agriculture. So, in integrated pest management, we have different tools. We have
Okay.
different techniques like we have chemical management, chemical control. We have physical control. We have biological, biological control. Mechanical too is among the controls. Then we have cultural control
Yes.
that are used. These all these controls are used to control pests and disease in the field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so please, do you think when it comes to sustainability, chemicals are needed?
Well, when you talk of chemicals, you have to be precise because there are some chemical. It's really difficult nowadays to practice like organic farming.
Yes.
It's really difficult because there are some chemicals out there that they will tell you. I mean, there are some fertilizer that they will tell you that is organic, but
Yes.
there's a level of chemicals in those organic fertilizers.
Okay.
So you have to know that when you talk of chemical fertilizers, you have to precise and also take note of the mode of usage of the chemical fertilizers and the quantity you apply to your farm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not really bad to apply your chemical fertilizers, but you have to make sure that you respect the dosage. Because on the containers, maybe you buy your container, I mean your fertilizer, your chemical fertilizer or chemical herbicides. They will tell you, okay, you have to use 10 millimeters. Some people will go and use 15. And in the field, the chemical fertilizers or herbicide, they have a duration to decompose.
Okay.
And if you don't respect the dose, it will take a longer time to decompose,
Okay.
causing more or putting more residues in crops,
Okay.
which will cause health damage and all the rest. Then also chemical fertilizers, they reduce soil fertility as you continue using the chemical fertilizers. So you have to respect your timing of applying fertilizers, and you have to also respect the dosage, the quantity of fertilizer you apply to your farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please, from what I've heard, from what I've learned so far, is that it's not bad to apply chemical fertilizers into your farm,
Yeah.
but when you do not follow the manufacturer's recommendations,
Yes.
that's when you start to face difficulties. That's when you discover that it start destroying the
Yeah,
soil
your soil.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much. So please, what are some of the local ways that can help improve our crops in our farms?
Well, if you talk of local ways,
That is local ways in of integrated pest and disease management
yeah,
in our farms.
that you're going to talk of cultural controls, cultural
Okay.
methods,
Yes.
which includes you can apply do crop rotation.
Okay.
That's you plant this season, the next season you go to a different plot of land to continue planting your crop. You can also practice.
Okay, sir, please excuse me. With this
Yeah,
crop rotation,
yeah,
I think we can also divide our farm into paddocks,
yeah,
like into four. Then we say, yeah, on this first plot we are going to cultivate maize. Then on the second plot we cultivate groundnut. On the third plot we cultivate yam. And on the fourth plot
yeah,
we cultivate cassava. That is we always make sure that we rotate the shallow crops and with the deep rooted crops. Like for example, you cannot rotate cassava and yam. You either rotate cassava and maize or cassava and beans. Okay, so that's the little something I wanted to
Yeah,
add.
yeah. Actually, you have to also take into considerations the crop you're planting for the next season.
Okay.
Like you planted corn,
Mm-hmm.
and this cultural control is also applied in pest management.
Okay.
If you have a crop that has nematodes, that means the nematode is for it's a soil-borne disease.
Mm-hmm.
It's a soil-borne disease, and it's not really easy to treat the nematodes. You have to practice crop rotation.
Okay.
This season you have planted your crop, and you've seen that the nematode is causing more damage. What you do is the next season you abandon the land, you abandon it completely, you go to the next land, you plant your crop while waiting for the because the nematodes here will not have a host to live in, so they will die.
So you follow the piece of land.
Yes,
Okay.
they will die. Then you can come back after like 2 years or 2 seasons. You
Okay.
come back, you plant your crop. That's a way to control pest or disease in your
Okay.
farm. Now, if you want to practice a cultural control as a way of sustainability or to increase your yield, it's also nice because crop rotation also implies leaving the plot of land to increase or to regain its fertility.
Yes.
After you have cultivated it for years, that means the fertility, the soil actually has lost its fertility. You leave the plot of land, you go to the next while waiting for this particular land to regain its fertility.
Fertility.
Now you can come back and you have your yield, respecting the management methods practices. Yeah.
So you must not only cultivate, but you can also follow it for a season.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and in cultural methods, you can also there are resistance varieties that you can buy and use.
Okay,
There are
sir.
resistant varieties that research institutions have been putting. They have been doing research on different crops to come out with resistant varieties.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir, please. What do you have to say on this aspect where in our local villages, in our local communities, you discover that the local farmers turn to burn to burn crop residues in the farm, like they gather it and they
Yeah.
burn it. And I once asked a farmer, and the farmer told me that it's for soil fertility, but I really never understood. I asked the farmer that why don't you bury it. The farmer said it's going to take longer. So while trying to discuss with the farmer was like not just convinced with my own idea that
Yeah, local farmers, they have their own way. Yeah,
mentality.
they have their own mentality and they have their own way of seeing things.
Yes.
They actually practice methods in agriculture that they themselves they don't know how it came about. They are
Mm-hmm.
just doing it because, okay, imagine a farmer gathering debris in the farm, that's plant residues, to burn, because the farmer thinks that when you burn the farm, you increase the fertility. Yes, for that year, for that season, when you burn, it increase your fertility, your yield. That particular place you burn, you increase the crops there will have a different yield. But for the next season, it will reduce completely. Why? Because where you burn the thing, it actually kills all the microorganisms that were there.
Destroys the
It
vital
destroys
ecosystem
it.
of the
Yes, it
area.
destroys them completely.
And it also increases the level of, is it potassium or
Yes, and acid, the iron in the soil,
yes,
it
which
increases
is
the
not
level,
good for the
which is,
crops.
yes, actually. So when you burn this, the grass, the debris, it's actually good because it's also a way of preventing pests and disease.
Eh,
Burning plant residues
eh,
that have been infected, you can actually gather them, then you burn it. But it should not be in the whole plot. You can choose a particular place. You can choose a particular place in the farm, put your debris and burn it, or you
okay.
bury it completely. So when you burn for that particular season, for that particular season it will yield high, but for the next season your yield will be reduced.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
So please, apart from the cultural methods, apart from crop rotation, what other method can we use?
Yeah, as I said, there are resistant varieties.
Okay.
As a cultural method, what you have to practice to is respecting timing of planting.
Okay.
Don't plant off season
Okay.
and expect to have your normal yield.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, I have something to say about this off season. We can take an example, beans cultivation.
Yeah.
If you plant beans during the rainy season, it's going to be destroyed by stem borers. But if you plant it during the dry season, the yield is actually going to be very high.
That means if you mean planting beans during the normal season.
During, like, when you plant beans during the rainy season,
Yes.
the level of stem borer attack is very high. But when you plant it off season, the beans are completely free from stem borer attack.
Yes, they are free from stem borer attack. Then you have to put other factors into consideration.
Okay.
You have to put other. You take other factors. Is your yield good or not?
Okay.
Because you know off season you have high temperature, you have low rainfall, and high temperature means you have other pests like aphids. There are aphids in the beans farm that will actually suck the saps of the beans and leading to stunting growth
Okay.
and all the rest. So you have to also take into consideration other factors.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
So in cultural factors, as I said, you respect your time of planting, buy your resistance variety, do crop rotation. There are many other factors that you can practice in cultural as a cultural control method.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Doc,
okay.
you have something to say?
Yes, it's actually like a question.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask that I have also noticed that with the scale holder farmers around us, like mostly those into vegetables cultivation, I noticed that whenever pests and diseases are attacking their vegetables,
Yes.
they tend to apply wood ash. Is wood ash actually a cultural method or it's another type of method?
Wood ash is a cultural method.
Okay.
Yes, it's a cultural method, but its effectiveness depends on the type of pest that's infesting your farm. Because wood ash, I think I've not really gone into deep uh, findings about the wood ash treatment, but I know that wood ash is for a particular pest or disease in the farm. I mean, see, if you are
And a
applying,
particular crop.
yes, and for a particular
So you
crop.
cannot carry wood ash and you apply on something like cassava.
Yeah, wood ash. I've seen farmers applying wood ash on plantains.
Okay.
They said is to kill the nematodes. I
Okay.
asked if the wood ash is effective. They told me that they have been practicing the wood ash method and it's actually working. I said, okay, that's at least we learn every day.
That is it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've not really gone into deep findings as I said. But wood ash, you have to also identify the pest or the disease infesting your farm before you apply.
Okay.
Yes, there are different diseases that attack huckleberries, farm cabbages, and all the rest.
Yes. Okay. So, we can also talk the application of neem, the neem
Neem oil,
plant, neem oil. You spray it, like you spray it in your farm
yeah.
as if you're using chemicals. Remember, chemicals are only advisable to be applied in your farm when the other methods of
Mhm.
managing pests have failed. Like,
Yeah.
chemicals should be the last option. It's and it should be applied at recommended doses.
Yes.
Yes. So you can apply neem oil in your farm by spraying. You mix with water and you spray around all of your crops, irrespective of the type. And you can also use sunflower. You you apply sunflower in your farm, like you produce a liquid, you extract the liquid
Yes.
from it, and you use it to spray your farm in order to fight against pests and disease. Okay, so that's what I wanted to add. So please, other points, please.
Yes, integrated pest management, as I said, we have biological control, and it's not really easy for local farmers to apply the biological control because it needs a lot of expertise. That means you're using other living organisms to fight against pests. So it's not easy for a farmer to identify the particular organism that will come and destroy the actual pest that is infesting his farm. So,
Okay, sir.
yeah,
With this biological control method, we have cocoa aphids can be prevented in a farm using black ants. So immediately you discover that cocoa aphids are destroying your cocoa pots in your farm, you immediately introduce black ants. Immediately you introduce those black ants, it's going to lead to their complete destruction.
yeah,
Ah, yes.
and the, as I said, biological method it needs a lot of expertise because we have techniques like sterile insect technique. You have to get to the field, you collect some sample of insects.
Okay.
If you have the black aphids in your, I mean the aphids in your farm,
Okay.
you go and collect like 50 or I don't know 100 aphids. You go back to the lab, you monitor them, you change their genes, you modify them. You can pass them through UV light, you can pass them through hot water to reduce their fertility rate. As you take them back to the field, they will mate, but there will be no fertilization, reducing the
Okay.
quantity of aphids in your farm.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
This is a new technique I'm learning today.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
that's a biological technique that you
Okay.
can use, but it needs a lot of expertise
Expertise.
and it costs too because you have to go to the lab, you have to pay for some stuffs and the rest.
So biological control technique, it's actually very nice, it's very effective, but
Mm,
very expensive
yeah,
to acquire.
yeah, and
Okay.
it's environmentally friendly.
Okay.
It does not damage the ecosystem nor the soil. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. What of bees?
Bees, bees are pollinators.
Okay.
Bees are pollinators, and for bees, you instead have to because there are some insects that infest, I mean, transmit viruses into bees, which are bees are important insects in agriculture. They are used for pollination. So, and there are some insects that kills the bees. So you instead have to solve the other problem of those insects killing the bees.
Mm.
So bees are not actually bad in agriculture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So bees can also serve as vectors, that is agents of,
Yeah, they transmit
they serve
diseases.
as indirect routes for disease transmission
Yes.
into plants and animals.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's it.
okay, thank you. So apart from the biological, can we talk of the physical?
Yes. Physical is you can do your hand picking. You get to the farm. It depends now on the disease.
Okay,
If you have a pest like snails on your cabbage, you can go to the field. You do your hand picking. You collect your snails and you kill.
okay.
Yeah, that's just physical control.
What of white flies attacking bees? You go and shake the plant.
Yes, you know you have you shake the plant after you've left the place, they'll come back. Yeah, so in most cases they use chemical control, which is not really advised for the next for the future.
Okay.
But so far they have not found a sustainable control for the white flies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what of mulching?
Mulching, yeah, it's actually nice. It's also okay for mostly for soil-borne diseases.
Okay.
Because after mulching, you have to you expose the disease that were in the soil to sunlight. After they have been the sun, the solar energy will hit them, they will die. And you also have to practice pruning
So
on
please, I never really
plantains.
understood the mulching you said.
Okay, for mulching, you have to turn the soil or expose it. You expose it. It's just like practicing tillage in a nematode farm. That means a farm that has been infested with nematode.
Okay.
You expose them to sunlight. After the sun has heated them, they will die.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's also a method of control.
Okay. So for the physical, we can either mulch or we do hand weeding.
Yes, hand weeding, do your hand picking of
Okay.
the pest.
Okay, Sam. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure. It was indeed a pleasure talking to you today. So, in summary, we've been talking about the different methods, the different techniques that are sustainable in pest and disease management,
yeah,
such as crop rotation, biological control methods, um, following.
yeah.
So, what are the others?
Physical, you have physical control, biological, cultural,
Okay.
mechanical. Mechanical is the use of tools, machines,
Tractors.
yes, to control. You have, I said, cultural, biological, chemical, physical methods.
Okay.
Yeah. And legal, there's legal too. You have to put legal use of legalized or homologated this thing
Okay.
products.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Sam. Thank you so much.
yeah. The pleasure is shared.
Thank you so much. So, integrated pest and disease management are sets of methods, strategies, techniques that are put in place to control pests and disease in our farm. But it's advisable. Actually, we started by talking on chemicals.
Yeah,
Yeah, we started by talking on chemicals, but it's advisable to only use chemicals in your farm when the physical, the biological, and the mechanical
has
method have
failed.
failed.
Yeah,
And when applying chemicals in your farm, you should use the manufacturer's recommended dosage,
dosage.
and you should also check the level of toxicity, the chemical toxicity of the pesticide,
Yes,
because there are some chemicals that resides in our crops. Like the residue level is very
it's
high
very
in our
high. Yeah,
crops, especially a crop like cocoa. There are some chemicals that when you apply on cocoa, the residues remains on them to an extent that they are even rejected in the world market. So I'll advise you to practice sustainable integrated pest and disease management techniques in your farm for the betterment of the soil ecosystem, for food security, and for the protection of our environment. Thank you. Thank you.